Hello, everyone. Welcome back to High Level Listening, where we give you real English with real teachers to help you take your English to the next level. We're here today to chat about 10 vocabulary phrases related to your friends, your close friends, your besties, your mutual friends, and even friends of friends.
Yes, that's right. Today's class is a bit more laid back, a more back and forth friendly chat about our friends, which will still give you helpful vocabulary and phrases and natural ways to talk about your friends. This class would be great for improving your vocabulary, your listening skills, and helping you feel more comfortable with naturally spoken English conversations.
Now, I'm Kat, I'm American, and Mark here is British. So this chat will be great for training your ear to listen to both American English and British English at the same time in the same conversation.
Yes, okay, so let's get started with this vocabulary lesson. Kat, what does it mean if I said someone is an old friend?
Yeah, an old friend. This feels like a really nice phrase to me. If I have an old friend, it's actually not about age. It's not about how old the person is. It's not that I have a friend that's 65, 75 years old. An old friend is someone I've been friends with for a long time. Okay, so someone maybe we're not as close anymore right now, but we've been friends for so long. We're old friends. We're old friends. So, what about you, Mark? Have you caught up with any old friends lately? What do you think about this phrase, an old friend?
Hmm. Yeah, I like it too. It's more like the relationship is old. Not the
Yeah,
person is
yeah,
old. They're the same
that's a
age
good
as
point.
me, but yeah, we have been friends for a long time. So, one old friend I caught up with recently was a friend, Ben. We grew up together in the same village. We keep in touch on social media, but we live in different cities now. But yeah, I reached out to him. We met up at a pub and had a chat. And it was like we had never been apart. We still have a good relationship. We still have a good friendship. Chatting with them was very natural and easy. So he's an old friend. I think I've known him for more than 15 years. So he's an old friend. The next vocabulary word we have is a friend from school or a friend from university in England, a friend from work. This is if you know somebody and you met them at school. A friend from school is maybe a classmate and you met them at school. A friend from university is someone you met at university and they are also a university student. Maybe you're classmates, maybe not, but you're both attending university at the same time. So, oh, who is he? Oh, he's a friend from school. Or, who's that? Oh, she's a friend from university. Do you still keep in touch with any friends from school, college, or friends from work?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my best friends. Now, we're originally friends from school, but we didn't really become close friends until way after college. So I guess we are technically friends from school. But I think in general, when you use this phrase, it's so versatile. I mean, we're friends from work. We're friends from when I lived in Chicago. We're friends from my postgraduate studies. You can pretty much give any scenario of where you met that person and kind of fill it into the box. Yes, of course, we say work friends, we say school friends, things like that, but this phrase is so much bigger than that. We're friends from when I lived in that apartment, right? We're friends from when I lived in my hometown, something like that. So you can fill in the blank with lots of different scenarios. I like this next phrase, we go way back. We go way back. Now, I'll ask Mark in a second if he also uses this phrase in the UK, but when I say we go way back, that means that we have been friends a really, really long time. Maybe we're friends from school, like elementary school, and we go way back. Maybe we've been friends 10 years, 20 years, our whole lives, okay? We go way back. We go way back. What about you, Mark? Would you use this phrase as well? We go way back.
I do know the phrase. I'm familiar with it. I don't think British people use it as often as in the States. But if a British person did say, yeah, we go way back, I would understand what they mean. I might even use it like in a joking way, in a sort of ironic way, because I know it's more American, but people will still use it. Yeah, my friend from earlier, my old friend, Ben, we go way back. We were 13 or 14 when we met. So yeah, we go way back.
So what would you use instead if you don't really use that one?
Um, Instead of that one, a popular British phrase is ages, for ages. Ages is a long, long time. It can be years or decades. So I could say we've been friends
Mm,
for ages. We're still friends now, so we've been friends for ages. I've known him for ages. That might be the more
mm.
British style.
Okay, so kind of the more American phrase, we go way back, and a more British phrase, we've been friends for ages, right? We've been friends for ages. That does definitely sound a lot more British. Probably the counterpart, the American counterpart to for ages, we've been friends forever. We've been friends
Hmm.
forever. So I quite like that. That kind of has a nice, so we go way back, we've been friends forever.
Yeah, lots of exaggeration. Like ages is literally like hundreds of years. Forever is
Oh,
all of
yeah.
time. So
I never
it's
thought about
exaggerated a
that,
bit.
but yeah, forever. Oh yeah, best friends
Hmm.
forever.
Yeah, BFFs. Yeah. Is there someone you've been friends with forever? How long have you known each other?
It's funny. A lot of my friends from elementary school, we've kind of lost touch over the years, so we're not that close. Probably one of my closest friends, I talked about her earlier. Yeah, we go way back. We go way back. Even if we weren't really good friends in school, I mean, we've known each other at this point almost 15 years, coming up on almost 20 years, which that really feels really weird to think about something like that, but we go way back. We go way back. Through school, through college, through work, through life, we go way back for sure. And what about you? Have you known anybody for ages, forever?
Mm. Sure, there are people I've known for ages. Again, it's probably my friend Ben. We've been friends for ages. He's an old friend. He might be maybe my longest, no, my oldest friend.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we
my
do say that too.
oldest
Yeah.
friend.
Mm,
Yeah, so not because he's 70 years old, but because our friendship is the
mhm.
oldest in my life. So yeah, he's probably my oldest friend. Sometimes I talk to my mum and she says, oh, do you remember when you were 3 years old, you used to play with the neighbor? I'm like, no, no, I don't remember that. So maybe there is an older friend out there, but I just don't remember or stay in touch with them. So the next phrase we have, you probably know it if you learned English at school or from a textbook, best friend. He's my best friend or she's my best friend. We are best friends, sir. There's kind of a cultural difference here because I'm British and in the UK, we don't say best friend that often. The only time I can think when I would say best friend is if I'm giving some emotional speech at a wedding. It's my friend's wedding and I'm being very honest and sincere with him. You're my best friend. But the rest of the time, if I'm talking about my male friends in England, they are my best mate. He's my best mate. We are best mates. I should add that because I'm a guy, I'm talking about another friend who is a guy. I think only men describe other men as best mates.
Mm.
So if you're in the UK, you're more likely to hear best mate. He's my best mate. We're best mates. If it's a friend who's a woman, I will probably still use friend or close friend, but we'll talk about
Mm.
that later. What about in the States? Do you use best friend more often?
I I think definitely between women, and really close friends, yeah, she's one of my best friends. She is my best friend. We've been best friends for years. relationships change. So, like you said, it does feel maybe a little immature sometimes to say, oh, yeah, he's my best friend. She's my best friend. But I think I definitely use friend. And of course, we do not use the word mate in American English. That feels more like, animals getting together to make babies, right? That you mate for life, right?
Mhm.
That feels more of a romantic thing. So we don't use that word at all. We would definitely use one of my best friends. She's my best friend. We were best friends in school. We were best friends years ago. But definitely we would use that, especially with American women for sure. Now, I think this next phrase is a bit more versatile and probably usable more in both American English and British English. A close friend, a close friend. Now, what's the difference between a best friend and a close friend? Well, your best friend is usually the number one, and then the close friends are the people you enjoy spending time with, communicating with, talking with, things like that. What about you, Mark? Do you feel like you use that term a bit more often, a close friend, or would you even say like a close mate?
Well, I wouldn't say close
No,
mate. That takes
I don't even
mental
know.
effort to say. Yeah, so a close friend. Yeah, he's a
Hmm.
close friend. He's one of my closest friends.
Mm-hmm.
One of my closest friends. One of my close friends from home. One of my close friends from school. So you
Yeah.
can adapt the phrase a bit. I think this sounds a bit more mature as an adult. I think maybe this is cultural again. Having a best friend as an adult feels slightly childish to me, so I would more likely say a close friend. And this way, you can have multiple close friends.
Yeah.
I have a group of very close friends. The next word to describe someone you know is an acquaintance. An acquaintance. If a close friend, a best friend is here, then an acquaintance is further apart. Your relationship is not as close, but you still get along. You can still talk to each other. You can have conversation. Maybe you can laugh at some jokes, but that's it. You don't spend a lot of time together. Maybe you don't have dinner together or hang out only you two. This could be someone you know from work and you get along well, but you like to keep your personal life and your work life a bit separate. So they are an acquaintance. Maybe you also don't know a lot about them. You know their name and you know where they're from and you know what they do, but you don't know them much deeper than that about their hobbies, their dreams, or wishes. So that person is an acquaintance. This is still quite a polite way to say that you have a relationship with them, but it's respectful and it's not that close. Would that be the same description in the US?
Yeah, for sure. You might say, "Oh, are you friends with her?" No, not really. I mean, we know each other, but she's more of an acquaintance. She's more of an acquaintance. Okay. So, I mean, we see each other at parties or, I've met her before, but we don't have this close relationship. That's what exactly I agree with you, Mark. We have that boundary, right? We haven't crossed over yet into more of friendship territory. She's just more of an acquaintance. I don't know her that well. I don't know her that well.
Mm. You made me think of a sentence like, we started off as acquaintances and then we got closer and closer and now we're together or something. So it's like the first stage, we started off as acquaintances and then we got to know each other. Does that sound weird?
I would probably just say I kind of put someone in a box. Like she's more of an
Uh,
acquaintance. Like and I put you in that box. There's, maybe we'd be friends, but yeah, we started off as acquaintances. But I usually when I put people in that box, they don't always come out of
that's
that box.
permanent. That's it. Right. You lock that box up. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So the next word that we're going to talk about, let's talk about our connections through other people. Sometimes you have a friend, they have other friends, and you meet their friends. So you say, hey, how do you know James? Ah, he's a friend from work. Well, I know James. He's a friend from school. Now, this new person that I met, James is our mutual friend. James is our mutual friend. That means I've met one of his friends. He's kind of the base. He's the anchor. He's our mutual friend. He's our mutual friend. What do you think about that, having, these mutual friends?
Yeah, it's a good description. It's the one person that two people know. Maybe you both met that person at different times, at different ages, but you both know the same person. That person is our mutual friend. Another phrase you might use if you're telling a story, but the story didn't happen to me and it didn't happen to you, you can say a friend of a friend. A friend of a friend. So many English stories start with, oh, this didn't happen to me, but a friend of a friend, he put the wrong petrol in his car and it destroyed the engine. Or it wasn't me, but it was a friend of a friend. He missed his flight and he had to pay £2,000 to get another ticket. So we try to explain our connection to the story. How did I hear about this story? It wasn't a news story or something random on Facebook. I have some connection to this, but it's not close. It's a friend of a friend. It's someone I know. So if you're telling a story about someone else, you can use that phrase too, a friend of a friend.
Yeah, I like that, because you could go so far as to say, like, a friend of a friend. Well, really, a friend of a friend of a friend. Maybe you don't know this person at all, right? But you are connected somewhere in that story, like Mark said. Like, no, I'm part of this story. It's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. It's
Yeah, it's
fine.
like
It doesn't matter who said it.
Yeah. No, don't worry. Yeah, it's my brother-in-law's cousin's colleague's boss. It happened to him.
Somebody down the line.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, the last one is going to be kind of the only negative trait that we're talking about, but I think a lot of us have this. We all have a flaky friend, someone who is flaky. Somebody who's flaky doesn't show up to things. Okay. They say, yeah, I'll meet you for coffee. Yeah, I can't wait. And then they just don't come, or they have an excuse and they just never show up to things. So they are flaky. Yeah, everyone's got the flaky friend. I don't know why, but every friends group has one, right? At least one. So what do you think about this phrase, having a flaky friend, or knowing some people who are a bit flaky?
Yeah, it's not something I would say to the friend, but it's how I would describe them to other people. I might be like, yeah, we invited James, but he's a bit flaky, so we'll see if he comes. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. Flaky is also the adjective. He's a bit flaky. There is a noun, a flake. He is a bit of a flake, or she's a bit of a flake. And if you have a flake in your friendship group, maybe you'll invite them to something and they'll arrive. Maybe they won't. You're still friends with them anyway. Sometimes people cut those kind of people off. Sometimes people put up with it. But yeah, it's the only negative one we've got in the list, like Kat said.
All right, everyone. So what did you think? We really appreciate all of our students, and we love hearing from you in the comments. What was your favorite vocabulary phrase from today? Did you learn anything new? What about you? Do you have a close friend? Do you have a bestie? Where do you know them from? Let us know in the comments below.
Yes, we do read and reply to all the comments here on YouTube. If you want to get the transcript of this episode that you can take offline, study at your own pace, you can join us as a high-level listening member. There's a link about how to do that in the description below. You can get this transcript and all of our other episode transcripts as well.
Thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time here on High Level Listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.